Like many of us, I spent my early 20s chasing the corporate dream. The impressive salary, the catchy job title, a designated spot in a cool office. I thought that the higher up the ladder, the more valuable I was to society, and the more valuable I became as a person. I never once second-guessed if these were actually my thoughts, or if they were shaped by the culture and society I grew up in. Just after a few years of working, I quickly found out that each promotion meant more responsibilities and pressure. For every pay raise, there was always someone making more, and I never felt like I fit into these catchy job titles. Progress never really felt like progress, because with each step up the ladder, I felt like I had to give up a huge chunk of my time and my freedom in exchange. I was overworking myself, feeling exhausted all the time and barely making it through another day, all to achieve this false illusion of happiness. I call it an illusion because while everything looked perfect from the outside, I felt like I was trapped living someone else's dream. Sometimes we can have everything we could have ever imagined, only to get to the destination and realize that this was not what we wanted at all. I feel like I've been there, and it can be a scary feeling, but at the same time, it can be a pivotal moment in our lives to change things around. Talking to my friends, my peers, and some of you guys, it seems like I'm not the only one who feels this way. Ever since we're kids, there's already a roadmap that's laid out for us by our families, by our cultures, or the society that we live in. And it seems like it's our life goal to kind of live up to this expectation. In a way, it can be really comforting because it shows that someone really cares about us and they want us to succeed. But on the other hand, it can be really conflicting because maybe that path doesn't lead to where we truly want to be. Before we get into today's video, I do want to thank BetterHelp for sponsoring today's video. I've worked with them in the past and I just think it's a very valuable service because we all know that mental health as well as physical health is a top priority, especially now. BetterHelp is a platform that will first assess your needs and match you with a counselor that is perfect for you, and you can actually start communicating with them in the first 48 hours. They have over 15,000 counselors with a wide range of expertise. And if you decide that you want to change your counselor for whatever reason, they make it really easy for you and it's also free of charge. I think it's really great that they make this accessible and they have financial aid. Also, they make it available for clients all over the world. If you guys are interested, they're offering 10% off your first month by using my code. That's betterhelp.com/Malama. That's BetterHelp/Malama. If you guys are interested, I will leave the link in the description below. Please go check it out and let's get back into the video. I personally struggled a lot trying to fit into this mold. And the narrative for me was to go to school, get a good paying job, get married, and have kids. And of course, there's absolutely nothing wrong if you love it and you thrive in this structure, but it just wasn't my vision. And there's no way that all 7 billion of us can perfectly fit into this mold. We're all so different and unique. And I feel that this life path doesn't give us enough room to find our own place in this world. I always thought about this, even when I was young and when I was in school, but I could never really conceptualize it and put it into words. For example, I love learning, I still do, but I never really liked the school structure. I struggled and I used every excuse under the sun to not go to school. But I did excel in certain topics, a handful of topics that I really liked, and one of them was French. I saved enough money to go backpacking, and that summer I learned more about the world and myself than I did in my 17 years of school. And it wasn't through books and lectures and slideshows. It was through conversations, trying different food and meeting different personalities, getting lost. These moments really impacted me, and I feel like I learned the most valuable lessons out of these experiences. And that's when I knew that there's not one way to learn. There's no one way to live life. I also had this realization when I first landed my corporate job. I actually really liked the job that I was doing. I believed in the mission, but I really didn't like the work structure. I didn't get along with my coworkers. I didn't like the office politics, and the clocking in and clocking out was kind of killing my spirit. What I'm saying is, school is not for everyone. Having a career is not for everyone. Neither is buying a house, getting married, or having children. I feel like we all know that these are social constructs and kind of arbitrary rules that we made up for ourselves, but why do we confine ourselves in it and confine each other in these rules? At least for me, I feel like my internal conflicts always happen when I feel like I'm supposed to be doing something and making something of myself. But when I don't think about that, I'm happy to figure it out on my own and kind of go my own way. And that really makes me think, is it helpful for anyone or for any society if we are miserable just walking the path that was already paved for us? So, what does it mean to live life on our own terms? It means to choose a life that's meaningful and fulfilling specifically to us. To me, this means having flexibility in my time to enjoy with people I love, having a job that's fulfilling, but also not being defined by it, and finding other ways to contribute to my community. Being able to pursue things that matter to me, like creative projects, volunteering, enjoying nature, traveling, and being unapologetic about it. It's a loose definition, and it takes effort to figure out what it means for you, because no one else can. It's confusing, but kind of beautiful, and I think that's how life should be. What we can do is take a moment to assess the path that we're currently on. Ask yourself, am I living the life that feels right for me? Or am I living up to an expectation? Do I like the person I'm becoming day after day? How am I spending my time, my money, my resources? And does it really match up with my values? These questions won't give us a solution, but they can be a starting point to a powerful realization. And also, sometimes this means going against the grain. And I know that that can be difficult because you have to first believe in yourself. You have to have the courage and be your own advocate at first when no one else believes in you. But I think it's worth it because in return, what you get is living a meaningful life, and you're rewarded with the freedom that you're searching for. For the first time in my life, I feel like I'm making all the right decisions to live life on my own terms. And ironically, for the first time, I have no idea what I'm doing, but I don't feel lost. I'm enjoying every step of the way. And for me, that's enough for now.